Most men drift through life in a quiet fog, their internal reserves depleted, desperately seeking fulfillment, status, and power in the fleeting, external chaos of the world. They chase the noisy validation of money, the temporary thrill of status, and the hollow applause of the crowd, utterly blind to the profound, immutable gold interred within their own being. This powerful, fundamental resource, often ridiculed or simply ignored, is the primal, concentrated battery of masculinity itself, a reservoir of raw, unspent creative potential that governs all true presence and sustained will. Hold on before we unlock the real power of semen retention. Hit that subscribe button and join our Telegram channel. Link in description. We drop daily wisdom, success tools, and energy secrets only shared there. Don't watch from the sidelines. Become part of the movement. This essence is not mere biological matter. It is life condensed into liquid form. It carries the sacred spark for generations and the focused fire that historically fueled the creation of empires and revolutionary ideas. The tragedy of the modern man is that he treats this life force with reckless contempt, discharging it without reverence, as if pouring away common water. This neglect is the great, silent drain on his spirit, his presence, and his emotional resilience, a continuous, self-inflicted drip, 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 drip that cripples his potential before it can ever be realized. The wisdom held by the ancients stands as a towering rebuke to this modern carelessness. They understood this force as an existential currency, recognizing that all enduring external power must be rooted in an absolute internal command. The Egyptians, through their sacred carvings, symbolized this creative force as central to existence, embedding its reverence in the very stone of their civilization. This was a truth guarded by those who sought true power, understanding that the internal kingdom must be secured first. In the East, the Taoists meticulously developed practices around Dite, the vital essence, teaching that its disciplined preservation was the key to phenomenal longevity, physical vitality, and, critically, the extraordinary sharpening of the intellect, a source for profound meditative clarity and strategic thought. Similarly, the yogis of India mastered brahmacharya, a powerful discipline designed to channel the intense sexual energy away from transient physical release and toward the attainment of high, sustained states of consciousness and spiritual might. Even within the most rigorous early Christian monastic orders, chastity was a form of spiritual technology, a way to stoke and intensify the divine fire within. The focus was never on external morality alone, but on the profound, crushing weakness inherent in the man who remained undisciplined, subservient to his own physical impulses, and therefore eternally fragmented. These historical codes were not designed for self-repression. They were principles of rigorous self-control, intended for the purpose of internal weaponization. The crucial truth the ancients understood and the modern man has tragically forgotten is that this fundamental energy operates like a sacred sword. To wield it carelessly, driven by every fleeting impulse, is to immediately dull its essential edge, rendering it useless for the high tasks of life. But to keep it perpetually sheathed, polished, and strictly reserved, its edge diamond sharp for a singular, deliberate moment, has to cultivate an internal resource that becomes functionally unstoppable, lending irresistible weight and intention to every chosen action. Yet, our sophistication, algorithm-driven, modern world works aggressively to turn men into docile slaves to their lowest, easiest urges. Pornography, engineered by algorithms for maximum addictive power, is freely and instantly available, hooking the brain's reward systems deeper and faster than any traditional narcotic. Women are relentlessly displayed as cheap, easily obtainable commodities, plastered across every digital and physical screen a man encounters. The entire cultural ecosystem, music, films, and digital content aggressively celebrates unchecked, immediate lust, glorifying the man who lives pathologically addicted to his own desires. The insidious message, relentlessly marketed to the modern man, is that this state of perpetual, external pursuit is freedom. He is told that constant, daily self-emptying is healthy, that he should endlessly drain his own core resource. The modern man, thoroughly conditioned in trusting the external voice more than his inner sense, accepts this devastating lie. He indulges without question. He wastes his vital reserve freely. Inevitably, he begins to hollow out, his core strength compromised. His once firm willpower softens. The sharp, decisive edge in his eyes dulls. His natural, magnetic, or oath a silent indicator of internal completeness fades until he becomes psychologically and energetically invisible in a world where true, anchored presence is the only real form of power. Observe the typical man today. He wakes up already running on empty, struggling fiercely for focus, his mind a persistent churn of low-grade, distracted desire. He lacks the capacity for comfortable solitude, immediately reaching for external stimulation to avoid the gnawing emptiness within. This endemic exhaustion, which he often attributes to external stress, stems from the devastating fact that he continuously leaks away the very fuel that was meant to sustain his highest efforts and ambitions. His stored energy, his life essence, was designed to power the ascent of metaphorical mountains, to drive monumental creation, and to fortify him through complex personal battles. Instead, that immense power is casually consumed by fleeting screens, cheap gratification, and meaningless indulgence. He confuses the momentary physical relief of ejaculation with profound pleasure, failing to grasp the deeper, painful truth that it is fundamentally an act of surrender and expenditure of potential. Every unreserved release registers as a small death, la petite mort. When a man engages in this daily, energetic death, his spirit is progressively diminished, shrinking him down from the sovereign he was designed to be into a mere ghost of his potential. This cycle traps him, ensuring he remains easily susceptible to external forces of manipulation, having forfeited the integrity of his internal throne. The forged man, a magnetism of fullness. Now, witness the power of the retained man. He is the one who has made the conscious, difficult choice to cease the reckless spilling of his essence. He is not enslaved to the screen. He does not beg for validation or chase after fleeting desires. He operates from a state of quiet, powerful fullness. When he enters a space, the atmosphere shifts. People invariably notice his presence, even if they cannot articulate the source of his gravitas. His voice deepens, his energy is perceived as heavy and anchored, and his sheer presence is an undeniable fact. He possesses a natural magnetism, not through performance, but because he is internally charged with life. His body feels potent, his mind maintains a clarity like glass, and his will is straight, unbroken by self-indulgence. This is the aura of a man who has secured his inner kingdom. Women sense this shift instinctively. They may not grasp the underlying philosophy, but they powerfully feel the stability of his aura. Other men react either with deep respect for the power he projects or a bitter, quiet envy for the strength they lack. This man knows this power is not bought or inherited. It is a force forged daily by fierce discipline, by the relentless, conscious guarding of the essence other men throw away. Semen is, at its core, energy, and energy is never neutral. It must flow in one of two directions: downward, into the stagnant dirt of passive, fleeting indulgence, or upward, into the intense, consuming fire of creation and high, sustained action. This is the precise power of sexual transmutation, the disciplined ability to redirect the immense, turbulent force of lust into focused vision, burning ambition, and strategic conquest. The historical titans of achievement were not men of dissipation. They were men whose defining trait was their capacity for absolute self. The man who retains his essence has exponentially more capacity for fierce focus, deep creativity, unshakable discipline, and profound stamina. He carries more innate potential. This energetic wealth manifests in the deliberate weight of every word, the conviction in every decision, and the purpose in his every movement. Consider the analogy of a massive, sealed dam holding back a raging river. If the structure leaks its power drop by drop, the immense kinetic energy is wasted. But if the dam is perfectly sealed and contained, that reserve force builds, gathering incredible pressure until it is strategically released to power entire industrial cities. That concentrated, controlled power is semen retention. Every impulse toward waste that is successfully resisted, every moment of self-control builds this internal pressure. This accumulated pressure becomes raw vitality. This vitality translates into powerful, magnetic presence. And this presence is the source of genuine power, the root of a man's mission and purpose. This is why retention is not a joke or a trend. It is the fundamental first law of profound self-mastery. It is the crucible where the weak, indecisive parts of a man are burned away, allowing the enduring, true man to be forged from steel. The man who guards his seed fiercely protects his internal crown. The crucible. Warfare and ascension. This path is not self-help. It is war. The commitment to retention is not passive abstinence. It is stepping into a spiritual and psychological crucible daily war against one's own physical nature. The moment the leakage ceases, the internal battlefield awakens. The body rebels, the mind tempts, and the old habits whisper their debilitating promises. Lust becomes exponentially louder, demanding immediate capitulation. This is where transformation is earned. Each act of successful resistance forges the man's character stronger. Discipline is not built in public performance. Its foundational strength is constructed in the deep, private, and silent struggle with one's most basic urges. The man who can conquer the hidden enemy of his own flesh, When no one is watching, becomes unstoppable. When the world is watching, retention sharpens the man. His energy concentrates, intensifying like lightning within a storm cloud. Soon, the changes are undeniable. His thoughts gain crystalline clarity. The long-standing mental fog lifts. His focus deepens, and the cheap external stimulations lose their power over him. His body feels denser, intensely alive, permeated by an electrical current. This is the natural, potent state of a man whose core force is whole. His aura thickens, a power others feel before he speaks a single word. The magnetic field of dominance is not taught. It must be radiated from internal fullness. A man who retains carries himself differently. His stride is heavier, his posture aligned, his voice commanding resonance, not desperation. He has no need to beg for attention because his internal energy is overflowing. Women are powerfully drawn to the depth of this contained energy. The man who commands himself, and therefore does not chase, is the man who rules. This transformation is rooted in internal warfare. The retainer faces constant battles with lust urges that press against his will like enemies at the gate. But each victory adds to his arsenal. He learns patience and command. He internalizes the skill of directing the intense energy that once enslaved him into his highest purpose. This is why retention forges true warriors, not victims. As his discipline solidifies, it extends to all areas of life. He trains harder, he works longer, without fatigue. He speaks with conviction where he once stuttered. His heightened energy demands excellence, making mediocrity feel intolerable. Retention ceases to be an act of abstaining and becomes a lifestyle of relentless self-command. He is no longer a leaf blown by desire. He is the storm itself. The ancients knew that a man could not be a formidable warrior on the battlefield if he was a compromised slave in his own bedroom. The samurai who controlled his sexual energy controlled his fear. The king who retained his power ruled with clarity. To choose retention is to choose the warrior's path, a daily duel that sharpens the blade of destiny. This is not repression, it is radical transformation. It is the art of taking raw desire and forging it into dominance. It is about standing within the fire of lust without being consumed by it. The man who achieves this becomes untouchable, having achieved sovereignty over his greatest weakness. Retention is an initiation that strips away the hollow man and rebuilds him into steel. By mastering the most primal part of himself, he masters every other part. Do not let this powerful momentum fade. 2 things before you go. First, hit the like button to show the algorithm we are a force. And subscribe immediately so you don't lose the frequency shift we just created. Join the inner circle. The link is below. Forward this video to one soul who needs to step into their power today. Have a force-multiplying day. Legacy. The code of kingship. The man who has completed this difficult journey achieves the highest stage. Ascension. The transformation culminates in sovereignty, the moment. He ceases to exist as a servant of his own flesh and crowns himself the commander of it. He has dethroned lust. From this high plateau, the retainer operates from a state of unwavering abundance. Women chase him, but he remains anchored. Opportunities open, but he is not distracted. His presence commands respect because he conquered the one enemy most men avoid: themselves. Because he has mastered himself, the world bends differently around his will. This ascension confers power across all arenas. His stamina outlasts competitors. His creative ideas flow endlessly. His willpower in battle is unbreakable. Every ounce of life force he once spilled now fuels his mission. While others are drained by their appetites, the retainer grows stronger, more focused. He is no longer chasing mere survival. He is chasing empire. History confirms this immutable pattern. The great conquerors and thinkers were not men of dissipation. They were men who turned their sexual fire into vision and will. From Alexander to Marcus Aurelius, the root of their power was the mastery of their own energy. The retainer steps into this lineage, becoming a crusader fighting both outer and inner wars. His contained energy grows too great to be contained by lust. It must flow into something greater: legacy. If this video gave you real value, tap the thanks button. Your support helps me keep creating deeper content like this. Every thanks is a spark that keeps this mission alive. Your support means more than you know. The final truth of retention is that it's not about endless celibacy. It's about building something so powerful with your essence that it remains an active force after you are gone. A man's seed can create children, but when directed with discipline, it creates empires, movements, and revolutions. This is legacy. Semen retention is the foundation, the deep root of all true male power. The man who wastes his seed may live, but he will never reign. The man who guards it, wields it, and transmutes it becomes a force. A living testament that desire is not meant to enslave you, but to be forged into your destiny. Crusader, when you master your seed, you master your life. And when you master your life, you step onto the path of kings. Retention is the crown. Discipline is the throne. And from that throne, you will ascend.